Hey everybody, it's Dominic from the Primetime Treasure eBay store and YouTube channel. Welcome back to another video. Thanks for all the new subscribers that have come in. I'm real excited about that. And a special shout out to Hickory Springs, who has been awesome in the comment section. Just leaving a lot of positive vibes down there. I really appreciate it. So I hope you like this video as well. And this one, I'm gonna do a bit of a restoration project. I'm putting, I guess, restoration in quotes, because really all I'm gonna do is clean something and put something back together. So it's not anything super fancy, but it's still something I think is important for you to keep in mind when you're out there sourcing. Now, I am gonna link to the video down below where I originally sourced this item that I'm gonna show you next. I found it at an estate sale where I found all sorts of other cool treasures. I only got it for a couple dollars. It was in the garage as soon as I walked in. The estate sale had been going on already for a couple hours, and this was still sitting there. And this is what I'm talking about here. This is this 1971 Fisher Price family schoolhouse. And the main reason that you could guess why this is sitting here is because it is covered in filth, especially on that side. I mean, this side is dirty too, and yes, you could hear the bell still rings, okay? And the clock is still there. And by the way, just so you know, when you want to look these items up, these Fisher Price items, a lot of these toys, especially Fisher Price, all of them have a number on it. So right there, I'll bring it right up close to the camera. You see it says 923. All you need to type in eBay is Fisher Price 923, and that's it. It's going to bring this up. You don't have to type in anything else. You don't have to type in Play Family School or anything like that. Just type in that number. You're good to go. Sometimes the number's on the bottom or somewhere else. But anyway, the other reason to look up, people think that the only reason to look things up on your phone is for comps. And one of the things I explain to people when I'm purchasing something is I'm not just really looking it up for that. I'm also looking up to see what are all the pieces and components, because that lets me know whether or not something's missing that I need to look for. And if it's not there, I might not make the purchase. Now this came with lots of different components and pieces, and it's hard to find one complete when it's loose outside the box like this. If you had an original one which came with a school bus and all sorts of little furniture pieces inside and people and letters and numbers, then that would be worth about $120 or more, depending on the condition of it, if the bell still worked and stuff like that. This one, I do have more than just a house, and let me show you some interesting components of it. Now on this side here, I believe it's this side, yep, it opens up, okay? And this little flap comes down, and that's actually a cool little chalkboard that you could write on. And then inside, you see here we have the schoolhouse, and there's all the different, things inside, all the little decorations and stuff. But what you might overlook is there are these little slots here, these red slots. And the reason those slots are there is for these trays. Now, these trays hold letters of the alphabet. So you can see here we've got the letters of the alphabet there, and you just slide the tray in like that, and that keeps the tray right there. Then we have another tray here, and this one is not so obvious what it's for, but if you do your research, you'll find out that this is where they put the numbers. So the numbers go right on top. You could do it either way, they are interchangeable, and then you would just close this up, and it's an easy way to store the letters and the numbers, because if not, they are going to easily get lost. So especially the letters of the alphabet, and they're more likely to get lost. That's probably why these actually have slots for it, but the numbers don't. But you're looking for basically matching letters that would go like this. So here's your letter C, and they are magnetized, so you can take it and you should be able to maybe attach it to the chalkboard. Let's see. It doesn't hang on really too well to it, but it is magnetized, and the tray just slid out there. But basically, yeah, it just kind of goes like this, and so you obviously want to make sure you have all the letters. Now, I have not pre-screened anything. I'm honestly doing this with you really from scratch. When I went to the garage sale, I did my research, I looked, I picked up the trays, and I picked up any of the little people that I could find, and these might not all go with it. I have to do a little bit of research. I mean, some of them do, but these little guys right here, there's these egg-shaped ones, and then there's these guys right here, and I got to figure out exactly which ones go with this particular set. But pick these up anyway, even if you see them, just scoop them up, because there are collectors out there there's someone out there who's missing this little one and will pay for it. Not only that, if you ever see these letters, like I was literally just doing a little bit of research before I did this video, and I actually saw there's people who are selling these letters individually. Like someone just paid $4 for the letter E. Okay, so you could just sell these things individually. You're not going to make a ton of money, but you could just sell them individually if you want. If you found like a whole big lot of them, and you can, you know, make some money off it that way. So just keep that in mind. Little toy pieces are important to pick up. But what my job is that I'm going to work on today is I'm going to clean this up. I want to get this looking like new, because basically what I have here, and just as a brief aside, because I just saw something in the box, and I pointed this out in the original video, but if you didn't go to it, these pieces right here are from a Winnie the Pooh tree, and literally these pieces sold for, the tiny little plastic pieces sold for $15 because someone was just trying to complete their Winnie the Pooh treehouse and they didn't have the leaves. So I just picked these up and I need to list those. But I'm looking in my box here, and this is something else from it. This is what it was called, the Winnie the Pooh honey tree, so that goes with it. But I was looking in my box, and when I look at some of the things I have in here, there's just, these are all like the little people, and you can't really see it that well, but let me list it out. These are like all the little people and the letters that I picked out. I picked out as many letters that I could find. Now honestly, I don't know if I have all the letters and the numbers in here. I just grabbed everything I could and just kind of threw it in there. So what am I going to do if I have missing letters and numbers? Well, I actually pick these things up when I find them just for this type of situation, because I do pick up Fisher Price toys for here and there, and this letter tray is not an uncommon thing to run into. So I have a whole bunch of extra letters and numbers, so I am going to hope that if there is anything missing, which of course there probably will be, that I have the extras somewhere else, and I'll go locate them. I know where they are, so I'll just go grab them, and hopefully I could find whatever missing ones I have, so I can at least, the goal is to have this cleaned up and to have a I have to clean up these trays too, because you can see these are dirty as well. And then hopefully I have all the numbers and letters, and I can list it with the numbers, the letters, cleaned up set, and also advertise some of these little people as well. And you know, maybe try to get like 50 bucks out of it or something. I mean, we'll see. Who knows, but definitely should sell if I have a complete letter and number tray, plus if this thing's cleaned up. So cleaning it up is relatively simple. I mean, just starting, for example, with the easiest thing here, all you really need are paper towels and water. Now, I really don't like to, you know, right down here in Primetime Treasure Headquarters, where I have a bunch of collectibles located. I've got thousands of comic books literally right beneath me here. So in fact, I'm going to do something I haven't done before. If you want a secret view of what is under me here in Primetime Treasure Headquarters, I'll show you right here. There's a ton of comic books. It's just all sitting here, like, you know, right here is hundreds of them, you know, and just laying all down here, comic books, comic books, comic books, you know, just, you know, a couple rows there. So I don't want those to get wet. If I had like a bucket of water, I don't want it to fall down and like get all over there. So what I do is I just use a spray bottle that I picked up at Yes on estate sale. And what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to spray this right here like this. Just going to spray it down a little. Or you could just spray the, you know, the paper towel. And I'm just going to wipe it down. That's it. Just going to wipe it down just like that and just start cleaning it up. And so you could just see here, obviously, I mean, this isn't rocket science what I'm doing. You know, it's just getting it cleaner. And I'm just going to keep going with it, clean it up, get it all nice. And then I'm going to do the same thing here to, you know, to this right here. So let me just point this down a little bit so it's a little bit easier to see there. All that dirt, all that filth. You know, if you don't want to spray directly on there, maybe you don't want to get a certain piece of paper wet, then all you do is just spray your, you know, paper towel like that. And we'll just gonna wipe it down. So I'm just gonna keep working on this, cleaning this up, and I'll turn the camera back on when I'm done cleaning the schoolhouse and the trays, and then we'll look at the letters and the numbers together. Before I show you the final product, I do want to show you just, you know, how grimy this side is too. I mean, look at that side of the house there. That's just really pretty gross. So I'm gonna work on cleaning that part up too. That'll be a little trickier just because it's not, you know, a smooth, clean wipe. There's lots of, you know, little grooves and edges and stuff that I have to get, but that's okay. It's all part of the fun and getting this thing looking in tip-top shape again. All right, so I finished cleaning the trays and the schoolhouse. The trays came out really good. This is the flat one here for the numbers, and this is pretty simple to do. Just a simple wipe down because it's a flat surface. Just rub along the edge here for that part. You know, a few little grooves in here, but that's pretty simple to deal with. More challenging thing was the letter tray, because there's all sorts of grooves in there, but you could see how nicely this ultimately came out. I mean, this thing looks brand new now, and it was caked in dirt. What I did was, in addition to an initial wipe down with the paper towel and the water, I then took a paintbrush, just wet it, and just in the sink with the water running over it, just kind of went like this. Just kind of acted like dental floss practically, just to get within those grooves really nicely. And then whatever was left over, I just took a water spray gun in the sink and just sprayed down the remaining areas of dirt and just kind of wiped it away. So that leaves the schoolhouse. I think the schoolhouse came out pretty good, but you let me know in the comment section what you think. Let's start right here. This is nice and shiny now and nice and white. You know, I can't go so far as to say it looks almost brand new, because there are some marks on it just from, you know, that you can't get out, like some scratch marks and stuff from when it was used, like this. You know, can't really get that out. But for the most part, you know, all the brown unsightly dirt that was on it, and it was under here too. It was all in these awnings and everything. It just took a little time to get out, but you know, not bad. Nice little fun project. This was filthy right here, so I got that all cleaned up. You know, in addition, even inside of it was pretty dirty, so I wound up, you can't really see that well because it's a little dark, but inside of there was pretty dirty, and I wound up, you know, just reaching my hand in there, you know, cleaning that out. And you know, it's amazing how many parts there are to this, because you know, even this, when I flip this up, this was all covered in dirt. So you know, got that all wiped down. You know, a few little scratches there, and you know, marks that are just kind of, you know, permanent that you can't get out. But you know, my main goal was just to get most of the dirt out. There were some blue stains on here, on this part of it. I don't remember if I caught this in the video earlier, but if you look back, there were some areas of dirt, but also like blue stains. And I was happy to see that those wiped right off just with paper towel and water. So now the next step, which again, I don't know what's gonna happen because I didn't look through this yet, is to see what happens with the letters and the numbers. Okay everybody, well, I'm back from going through my secret stash of Fisher Price letters, and turns out I do have the missing letters, so let me show you right here. Fortunately, I do have a V, I do have an F, I've got a B, I've got an M, I've got a J right there. Now, what I did not have were any numbers. And as you can see here, as you remember, I am missing the number 7. Now, it would still sell without me having the number 7, but I'd like to have completeness, as do most buyers, although most buyers are going to be more concerned with having all the letters of the alphabet. So it's great that I have that. So it's time to be a little creative, right? What I'll disclose in the listing is that I don't have the original number 7, and someone could buy that for a couple bucks on eBay if they really, really want that. But if they just want it for the purpose of playing with their kids, being creative, I just found an extra L, and what I'm going to do is just put it here like this, and so we'll basically turn that into an artificial 7. So You know, sometimes you just have to be creative like that. So that should work for most people. In terms of these little figures that I have here, these Weeble Wobble ones, they go to a different set. So I'll just wind up selling these separately. This pirate guy is another Weeble Wobble. He may go to the same set or another one. So I'll just probably just sell them all as a group. But this particular playhouse used these little guys, these wooden ones. So I will put these with the letters and the numbers, and I'll be all set. Okay everyone, so here we go. We're gonna put it all together now. So we've got the playhouse, looks nice in the front, looks nice on the sides. Gonna just open the flap up. We've got our nice tray of shiny, colorful letters that are gonna go right in these slots here. So we got that one right there. And then our nice tray of shiny numbers, just gonna go right on top. So we got that. And you know, when I display it, I'll probably just, you know, put these little characters right up front like this. And this is gonna be enough for someone out there who just wants to have a little starter set like this. Might bring some nostalgic memories back for them. They want their kids to have a few little people. We've got the girl, got a few you know, boys here. And you know, they'll have all the letters and the numbers, and it'll be enough for what they want. They don't want to spend 120 on it. You know, they want to spend maybe 50, 60 bucks instead, and you know, they'll, you know, maybe piece it together with some little pieces they find here and there to add to it. Okay everyone, well I hope that this video inspires you, that the next time you go out and you see something that, you know, is kind of a vintage item that you were thinking about picking up, but you thinking you're not going to get it because it has some dirt on it, has some grime on it, has some stains on it. Try to look past that if you can and see if it's something that could come out, and if it's just that it requires a little bit of work, you know, pick it up. I mean, that's what'll make it sell for a low number, and you just got to be willing to put the effort into it. Not every item you're going to find is going to be mint turnkey condition and ready to immediately list. In fact, most items that you pick up at garage sales and estate sale, there's some kind of tinkering you have to do with it. This is more involved than you know, your average thing that you would pick up, but it just goes to show you, if you're willing to just put in a little bit of work, a little bit of time, you know, you could bring an object back to life and you know, bring it back into the market and getting it into the hands of somebody who could really enjoy it. I especially love doing that with old toys, because the toys they make these days are just cheap and, you know, crappy from China. You know, these are made for Fisher Price in East Aurora, New York, which if you've never been there before, I used to live not too far from there when I lived in Buffalo for a few years, and they have a little antique festival every year, and you could go there and, you know, go right by the area where Fisher Price toys are made, and you could go in there and get all sorts of old Fisher Price toys. It's just really cool. So you know, if you're ever in the area, go check that out. East Aurora, New York, and it's actually, you know, written on the side of all of the Fisher Price toys. So that's right near Buffalo, in case you're ever curious. Not too far away from me here. So if you liked the video, make sure you hit the like button. Also, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Thanks again for all the subscriptions and everything. I really appreciate it. You're really helping me get closer to that goal of 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So you know, if you watch this video, watching my channel for the first time, check out the other videos. I've got almost 200 at this point. Lots of how-to videos like this, lots of haul videos and all sorts of things that I think you could get all sorts of tips and tricks from. And all I ask back right now is just subscribe if you like the content and hit the like button. Now, if you want additional tips and tricks throughout the day, come to my Facebook group. That's the Facebook Reselling Resource Center. The link is down below. We just went over 1,300 members today, and it's really an awesome group. It's just a positive place to be. No trolls, no spamming, nothing like that. It's just a place where people support each other and all interested and motivated in reselling. So come over, check that out, and you know, any comment, question, drop that down below. And if you're curious about checking out my eBay store, I do have the link to my eBay store down below. And if you you know, do your own eBay shopping, do that through my link. It helps me out. It helps support the channel because it's an affiliate link for me. So anything you buy after you click on my eBay link, you know, does help support the channel. So I appreciate all the support, and you know, people who are coming back and, you know, checking out these videos for, you know, repeat number of times. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you all at the next video.